Well, hello again, guys. What we're going to do today is we're going to put a chain guard, actually a better description is a chain guide, on the Trek bike. Why are we going to do that? Well, stick around and I'll let you know. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, like I say, we're going to put a chain guide on the Trek Marlin 7, and it's going to be this one right here. Yeah, that's going to wrap around the top of the chain and keep it on the sprocket. Why are we going to need to do that now, especially with the amount of miles that we have on there? Well, as we're doing a little bit more off-road riding right now, when you're coming down a really rough downhill and you're in a low gear because you're hitting a valley and you want to be coming up another hill, well, when that chain is bouncing, when that the frame is bouncing around, that chain is slapping all over the place. That's why they have that chain protector on there. I think they call it a chain, I forget what it's called, but it's a wrapping around your chain stay right there. Okay. That chain is flopping around like that and hitting all the way down on the chain stay. Well, if the alignment is not perfect, even if it is perfect, it can jump off of that front sprocket. So that's what this is going to avoid. Now, we've checked our chain. We are not to the point that we need to change it yet, but we're getting close to that. If I were to change everything out right now, well, that would probably mask the problem a little bit. And I'm not interested in putting a mask on the problem. I'm interested in solving it. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to jump in here. We're going to put this all together. And probably going to be this evening. We're going to take it out. We're going to try and hit some of the gravel in this area here. We've got some spots that are a little bit bumpy. We don't have any real good off-road. But we got some spots that I think we can hit it and get down into a low gear while we're still going fast, and I think that would mimic it enough to test it out and see if it's going to work. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get in here, get it put on. We'll show you how we go about doing that, and then we're going to head out on the trails. So here we go. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and do kind of a quick install on this. And so first thing that has to happen is this guard has to come off. And so we're going to pop it off. And probably should have tossed a few gloves on, but that's okay. I don't think this is going to be a very dirty job anyway. And while I was up there doing the intro, I had my film crew get everything ready down here. Yeah, there you go. Or I think there's two more here. This guard is going to be gone now. We're not going to be using it. Well, that is if we can there's one in there. There it is. That was a mechanic trick to stick your head through there like that. Old mechanic's trick. Yep, we're loose. So we're going to take these, drop them into a little magnetic tray up here. And next up, we will is that it? Yeah, that's the right one there. Next up, we're going to go ahead and see about putting these parts on. Now, I believe our best way of putting this on is going to be with this forward. Now the other option would be for this to be in the back this way. And yeah, that's too far back. So it's going to go on the forward side. And so this is just going to be a matter of dropping that bolt in there. There is a shim here that we could use, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. And we're just going to put this on just enough to kind of hold it in place. That should be fine. And that will kind of hold it in place. Now there is a set screw in here that puts this you drop this into. There we go. And we can snug that down a little bit more. There we go. Now, we want to have this centered right over top of the chain. There we go. That appears a little bit close. On the one side, so that looks better. Now we can snug this one down to where it's going to stay. Now, I still think that could be a little bit straighter in here. So we're going to loosen this up, slide that back around. There we go. That looks better. And that's centered very well right there. Now we're going to take this up to, you know, we're just going to go ahead and pull that crank on out of there, or that, now we could just probably set it down that way. And let's see what this does here. We'll get this adjusted up. Yeah, it appears like it's touching there. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump this up to the highest gear. Now we can go ahead and let that ride just above the highest gear. And we will snug this one back up. This one right here, make sure that it is tight. And this one back here, make sure that it's snug. There we go. Now it's just going to be a matter of taking the crank off and dropping off that guard. Oh, let my old leg straighten up for a minute there. You know, I had a bench and my film crew didn't find it. And you guys have seen me do this before. You just thread that out, and then we're going to thread this in right here. This is just basically a tapered post. And then we're just going to take this, thread that in, and then we just start to pull that out. As that interior bolt goes in there, it pushes this right out. That's pretty easy to do. Drop the chain guard off, put that back on, and then we will tighten it back in with this bolt. And so now we will go ahead and take it out, take it down some hills with root-filled hills and see if everything stays on there. Okay guys, this is the final product. Just sits right here, and this keeps the chain from bouncing up when it's hitting bumps. It tends to, see if I can mimic that here. Well, you can see how it starts trying to bounce with just that little bit. That keeps it from bouncing off of the chain, especially when you get into the first few gears. So what we're going to do, place where this has been a problem, as if we're going very fast downhill in a low gear, because we build up speed and we want to be in a low gear because we're coming into a valley and we're going to come up the other side. So I want to come down this hill and I want to hit it about as fast as I can. It's the bumpiest road we have around here, but it's not as bumpy as hard routes or anything like that, but I'm going to try and do it worst case scenario and see what it does. So let's go ahead and go. I never ride this bike in first or second gear. I'm up in fifth right here, and we're going to go ahead and kick it on up a little bit. We're in seventh gear now. Up to eighth gear. We're doing 21 miles an hour. And now I'm going to start gearing down while I am coming over this. Yeah, it's a little smoother than I had hoped even. And it appears like the chain is still on. Now, I'm just very encouraged by what that was right there. I believe that is going to be the fix that we are hoping for on there. But I've got to do some more testing, get it out on some off-road. Oh my goodness, it looks like I've got to, now I'm going to have to clean this up because I don't have that guard cover and everything. So we're going to have to get that cleaned up. Hey, what do you think? Maybe a red chain ring going in there. Red sprocket maybe. I did check my chain. My chain is not quite worn to where it needs to be replaced yet. I'm going to go ahead and replace it and probably be cassetting the chain ring at the same time, because we've got, I don't know, close to 3,000 miles on this. So I forget exactly when it is that I changed out. I put an actual e-bike chain on here from I think it's like K-Line or something like that, but it's an actual e-bike 10-speed chain. I don't know how many miles I had on it. Maybe I had 400, maybe I had 1,000. I just don't remember. But I've had that chain on there for quite some time and it's working just fine. So hopefully that's got any issues that we run across taken care of. I'm going to say for now we got a good fix on it. So I think that's going to wrap it up. It's time for me to get back home and get some dinner. So until next time, hey, number one, if you like this, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you know when these videos are coming out. We do appreciate that. And until the next one comes out, hey, this is Southern E-Biking telling you, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels rolling. Once again, we're out.